and welcome to episode 2 of the Arachnapocalypse Developers Commentary. As always, Rock here. And so, first things first, we're going to start off. Now, remember we had this our Bane 5 sword. We also had this Bane 3 Breaking 2 sword. Now, this was pointed out to me during the beta of the map. Actually, it was beta release of the map. Sometime shortly around that area. That you can combine this Bane 5 and Unbreaking 2 together, and we'll rename it just so we can repair it again easily. We'll call this Spider Hater, and that will give us a Bane 5 Unbreaking 2 wooden sword that we can repair whenever we want, which is fantastic because it's a really strong sword, as we saw when we were first starting. So this is the intersection, as I stated. We've already cleared out the area, lit it up a little bit so we can just kind of freely go in. So there's 3 areas. There's the red wool area, which you can denote by the color clay. That's at the front and end of each bridge. We have a murder bridge, which is the red wool area. The green wool area, which we could see over here as spiral complex. And we also have the blue. This is as although it might not look it's blue. Looks more purple, but it's blue, which is Frosty Nightmare. Now, originally when I designed when I had the initial conception of this map, the difficulty was going to go in a blue, green, red order, which is, you know, out of the 3, the order that you would get the wolves in typically. So blue, green, red, which was the initial balance order that I wanted for the map. However, after making the map and then trying to balance the areas and such, the order changed from a more of a red, blue, green. Green, of course, being the hardest, red being the easiest. And that's kind of how things went from there. So, I'm going to be going in my the order that the map is right now, and we'll go as such. Now, even though this is the order that I would recommend at the moment, you can go in any order that you want, and you should be able to complete the areas without a really super hard time doing so. It's not like a normal CTM where, you know, if you went to the red wool at this beginning, you would just be good as screwed. As you can see, we're one-shotting like everything. So, the way this map is set up is that you can go in any of the 3 ways you want, and it will still result in the same experience. I'm going to break this before it becomes an issue. Okay. So, as we come over here, we have this nice little mini base. It looks very dilapidated and such. We will be setting our beds. I've seen quite a few people checking the biomes in this area, and I was not that much of a dick where I made the beds hell biome. We have a book here. Let's take a gander at that. I used an ember block because it's not something you could really use. There's no trades that you could potentially use the ember block with, and so it was a good color difference from the area that we could make the kind of have a visual cue. So notes. These are notes from a crazed traveler. Oh, the horror. Oh, the terror. It appears that the spiders of this area have mutated in such a way that makes their venom cause muscle spasms and irregular movements in those poisoned by them. It's highly suggested to those who traverse through this area to travel light, as accidental poisoning can cause an unintended trip into the abyss. Dun, dun, dun. Essentially what that means is the spiders of this area, which are caves, the main mobs of this area, actually, sorry, there was five custom mobs in this map. With that in mind, 5 custom mobs. The main spider of this area, the main mob of this area, is a cave spider, but with a modified effect. It doesn't. The poison is modified, so you can see where it increases our movement speed quite a bit. So the cave spiders of this area, as I said, it caused irregular muscle spasms. Essentially, the cave spiders of this area they don't poison you. they instead give you a really high movement speed. Whew. Now this is the main gameplay mechanic of this area, is the use of that poison as a kind of a way to scare the player, and make things a bit more difficult. Now this area turned out, this is intended to be the most difficult area. However, it ended up not being as difficult in general as I would have liked it to have been. But, you know, it's okay. I enjoy the mechanic of this area a lot, and I think it worked overall. So the area is a void-based area. Now, one of the game design decisions that I made with this is that one of the biggest things I dislike about some about CTMs is a void-based area. There's a lot of frustration that comes along with a void-based area, because the player essentially the player just loses a gear. That's all that happens. Typically there's no compensation for the void area. You're not getting better. You're not really getting good loot to compensate for the loss of your stuff, and it just becomes more of a frustration than anything. The way that I designed out this area in particular is that you don't need any of your actual loot. You can use the loot that I provide you, which is those swords and picks that we saw, and you can complete the area without actually having to use any of your gear. So yeah, that's the one of the big design decisions with this area. Now, as you can see, these I never pointed out the names. The cave spiders in this area are named as spasmodic venom spiders. Kind of a reference to the muscle spasms that you quote unquote muscle spasms that are inflicted upon you when you're poisoned by them. Now, these spiders have one guaranteed drop, which is a spasmodic venom sac. Originally, in the original beta, and partway through the beta, the venom sacs were used with anti-venom potions. Essentially, the anti-venom potions removed poison, and it also removed the speed that these spiders gave. So it was kind of an all-purpose, anti-cave spider potion. However, it didn't end up being as useful as I would have liked it to have been. You couldn't really use it because the poison never really lasted long enough. It wasn't like it got poisoned. It wasn't like you got poisoned for 10, 20, 30 seconds, where the anti-venom would have been really good. Like if I had witches on the map, the anti-venom potion would have been really good. However, cave spider poison doesn't really last super long, making the potion kind of obsolete. And I don't think I rarely ever saw anyone use it, and when they used it, they didn't really need to use it, kind of thing. So I opted out. Instead of just removing the spasmodic venom sac from the cave spiders in this area, I ended up opting to use it in different things. So, like in the traders, the utility trader, you can see that you can trade the spasmodic venom sacs and water bottles for potions like regen, health, speed, strength, the important potions. Come on, climb up. There we go. So all of these spasmodic venom spiders guarantee drop one venom sac, which makes things it makes them a lot easier to farm if your main goal is to get some potions. They're pretty easy to farm. Every one gives one venom sac. As you can see, I'm being a very, very frisky person, because I'm taking all my gear that I had on me and bringing it into the area. If I accidentally got poisoned and moved, there's a good chance that I will accidentally throw myself off in either to the void or onto a lower platform and die. I'm being very risky when doing this, but I'm fairly confident with my skills and knowledge of the area that I'm not too worried about losing, or too worried about getting thrown off into the into the void. But that is a serious threat that is there for the player. So be very careful when doing this area. That is a continuous threat of the possibility of getting thrown into the void. So as you can see, there are quite a few branch offs of this. I didn't really get a look at the bridge. I'll take a look at the bridge in a second, after I clear out this pit, this room. What was in this one? Ah, yes, good swords. And some base armor. Perfect. Okay. So we'll get a good look at the area right here. It's kind of intended to be a very bridgy, sandy bridge. A lot of the area, I designed all the areas with some type of to kind of at least go along with the theme and at least the look of a kind of a spider infested area. So this is kind of goes along with the theme, kind of not, kind of does. It's so pseudo themed. So we'll keep looking around, exploring the various branches off, as well as I believe there's something over there. I'm not going to go over there, but I believe there's something over there. One important thing to note with the areas is the main wool areas all have, I think, 2 hidden chests in them that give really good loot. At least 2 hidden chests in them. So keep an eye out as you're exploring around and try to find those hidden chests, those hidden goodies. And down you go. So yeah, keep an eye out for those hidden chests and reap the rewards that you get from them. I'm not going to not specifically say what you get from them, but there's, I think, at least 2 hidden chests in each area. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, as you can see, that could have ended up absolutely terrible. Oh, thank God for that cobweb, because that saved my soul. So yeah, you got to be really careful when going through this area. As you saw, I accidentally moved and almost killed myself. So yeah, you got to be really careful. There's a lot of potential threats of all these cave spiders that could potentially gib you. Which area was this? Okay, this is another branching area. With some more loot. I don't remember exactly what the loot in these areas were. And some of the map I don't remember what the loot was, but I did do multiple loot passes. Oh, it's the +1 version of the Skittering Longsword. I didn't show you guys that, but there are 4 versions of the Skittering Longsword. The Skittering Longsword is a base. There's 2 base swords. There's the Skittering Short Sword and the Skittering Longsword. Skittering Short Sword gives Unbreaking 1, Knockback 2, Efficiency 1, Bane 1. And it's wood. And the Skittering Longsword gives Bane 3, Looting 1, and 20% increased speed. And it's a gold sword. So there's those 2 types of base swords. However, you can find / trade for improved versions of the Skittering Longsword. So there's a +1, a +2, and a +3 version of the Skittering Longsword. So each version increase gives 1 additional stat and increases the stats on the current thing. So we have Bane 3, Looting 1. We have Bane 4, Looting 2. In addition, Unbreaking 1. The version 2 gives Unbreaking 2 on Bane 5, Looting 3, and additional stat. As you can see. Okay. Let's continue on. What was I just going to talk about? I don't remember. It was on the tip of my tongue, and then I forget. We'll just continue on. I'm sure I'll remember it if it was something important. So yeah, the key gameplay mechanic with this area is that it kind of strands you. So like if you get hit by one of those cave spiders, you're better damn well stand still and fight from there, because if you move, there's a really high chance you're gonna kill yourself. But because there's the only loot is the only loot that you really need to use is the loot I give you. It becomes a lot less of an issue. You know, you can set your spawn right there, and you can get back into the action. I give you a sword and pick that you can use, and you can go from there. The spasmodic venom spiders, along with having the poison, the speed bite, they also have reduced health. I tried really hard with balancing of all these mobs, so the exceptionally hard mobs are either going to give you really good loot, or they're going to have reduced health for the named mobs in general. Okay, let's continue on. Doing pretty good so far. Making some good progress. Almost dying, which is always fun for you guys, not for me. It scares the crap out of me. Okay, so you see, get poison, stand still, wait for the poison to wear off. Keep going. Not too terribly difficult. I'm pretty sure most people who've had to deal with this have at least killed themselves once, which is kind of what I intended to happen, is that you're going to kill yourself once, and then you're going to be like, yeah, I'm not going to do that again. So it's designed out that you're probably going to die at least once. However, there is it can become tricky if you're dealing with normal spiders or just getting knocked back from damage, because even though you may not throw yourself off the edge, there is still the possibility that other mobs will come and hit you, and that will knock you off. That is a big thing to keep in mind with your Titan spiders. I'm not afraid of you. So we'll get in here, light this up real quick. Another thing that I didn't really mention, that is a mechanic of, or kind of the intended purpose of the map, or some intentions with the map, is that this map is more suited for people of a similar playstyle to myself. The map does encourage quick gameplay and quick movements to get through stuff. So like, you know, I can quickly run in here and place a bunch of torches to deactivate all the spawners, and it makes things a lot easier for me. However, if I came in here on a really slow pace, killed all the mobs, took out a spawner, a bunch of mobs are probably going to spawn. I'm going to have to kill more spawners. There's a very a very, you know, move quick, torch it up, and then take care of any issues that you have. So it does promote a very quick gameplay style that not everyone is used to, but that is that's the intention of this map. It's the intended gameplay style of this map. Okay. Before you could get to me, we got 15 venom sacks. I'll show off the venom trades when we get back to base, because I didn't really show it off. Pseudo skip past it, but I didn't really show it off. So we're gonna quickly run our way back over to the. Let's get in this hole real quick. Okay. So one big thing you could do is take advantage of the uneven terrain of this area, and if you have to deal with cave spiders in this area, it's best to just jump in a hole and fight from there. That way, if you move, you're not going to throw yourself out of the way, and overall it makes things a lot easier for you as a player. Okay, we'll continue going over in this direction. I think we're almost over to. There we go. And that we are home free. I will, however, grab a few of these picks over in this area right here. It makes things a lot easier for us that we don't have to spend our cobble some of the cobble we don't have on it. Swords aren't as important because we get a lot of sword loot drops. Nope, not that. And there we go. Alright, so with that, we have our red wool. Woo! 1 wool down, 2 to go. I'll take you out. Our sword is pretty damaged, so I think we'll do a quick repair on that as well. Showing how infinitely useful repairs are. But we got our red wool. We'll drop it off in our chest over here, and then we'll be good for the episode. We'll do a quick, 2 quick things. The first of which being our sword. Do that. That. Do a quick anvil on Spider Hater with their 20 levels. And that's good. Now I have mentioned the trade with the potions. 4 spasmodic venom sacks plus a water bottle. As you remember, we got the broken glass spits from the Fal Aranea, so you can use those with the water source block that's right here. And you can make 4 types of potions: the speed, splash strength, splash regen, and splash gets the heal level 2. But with that, that is going to do it for episode 2 of the Arachnapocalypse Developers Commentary. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, or feedback, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. As always, this is Rock, and I'll catch you guys next time.